after he passed away back in the day, people will go back and listen to it like, wow, he's poetic.
Yeah.
And Mo3 was definitely on a poetic flow. He was speaking from a real place. He only spoke like real. He didn't really make nothing up.
Yeah, exactly.
He just.
When he say I rap what I live about, it's the truth.
Come on, man.
It's the truth.
It's like he's talking. He can only rap what he's.
And
what
that's
he's living.
and see, me growing up how I grew up, that's another reason why the music could relate so much.
Yeah.
Because there's some stuff that you can't rap unless you've actually been through it.
That's facts.
You could put a story together and piece some stuff, but again, when you've already been through some stuff, what's real.
You said you yourself got shot.
Yeah.
Can you speak on that as far as what happened?
Yeah, so, I used to be a big-time marijuana dealer. And, some girl I was dealing with at the time, basically, I used to hide money at their house. And, the little brother was basically looking like he was asleep, but they was figuring out where I was keeping the money. So first the house got broken into, but the part that got broken into was only where my money was at. And so then, she goes to the club and buying everybody drinks. And next thing you know, one of my cousins called me and was like, yo, you still dealing with such and such daughter? I'm like, yeah, why, what's going on? And he was like, yo, she's up here buying everybody drinks, doubles. And I'm like, yeah. And he was like, I was like, yeah, bro. I said, she got me.
Damn.
I said, bro, she got me. And so then my cousin had said something to her because she was telling everybody she won the lottery for like 40 bands. And she
Is that how much you had up in there?
Yeah. And so I'm like, anything over $1,000, you get it. You gotta wait. You know what I mean? You got to pay taxes and everything. She ain't win no $40,000 a day and got the money 3 hours later.
Come on.
And so, my cousin had said something to her. Not nothing, in regards to me, but just like, hey, you know what I mean? I think you foul. Something ain't right with you.
Yeah.
And so, I had got the call and then when I seen her in person, now mindful, she had 5 kids. So, I'm breaking her off. She allowed me to deal with her daughter. I'm breaking her off, helping out with bills, helping out get school clothes and all of that. Yeah. And so then once I confronted her about it, it was like 3 days later, I'm getting ready to go out of town. The heat, the atmosphere of my area just was off. I'm a very, 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 very punctual person. What I mean? Like that's my makeup. Yeah. Like that's my makeup. Like, and so I was getting ready to go out of town. Next thing you know, I had just put my gun away. And within 5 minutes of me putting my gun away, my crib's getting broken into. My dad was at the house at the time, so it was 2 dudes that ran in the crib. And when they ran in the crib, I knew my dad was in there. So the first dude, I really just kind of like, tried to get him to drop the gun. The gun was fake, and then I did the same thing with the second dude. And then that's how one of my fingers ended up getting shot.
Yeah.
So, I ended up getting shot 4 more times, twice in the stomach, 2 more times in my back. And, thankful,
Wow.
the EMS got there real quick and, got me to the hospital. And, at that time, I was really a Tupac fan. I was only 19 and, people, oh my goodness, you really think you Tupac now? And I was like, it was just one of those situations where it was just like, somebody you looking out for, somebody you dealing with, turn right back around and basically tried to use the money that they stole from me to kill me.
Damn, bro. With that being said,
Money Maya,
basically Money Maya way back then. You here for a real reason then, man, because G.
Yeah.
G.
And so, but I was thankful to be able to get through all of that, still had some good support, Within 2-3 days, I'm playing my PlayStation 2, getting acclimated to, losing a finger. I lost a kidney.
Yeah, damn.
So.
Man, look at you, man, and the fact that you made it to today, man, that's a testimony, man. So man, I salute you on that one. Again, the lifestyle is a dangerous lifestyle,
it is.
Man, betrayal is a crazy thing to deal with, you know what I'm saying, as far as.
Every aspect of life, man. And, now you're doing everything legit and you don't have the same type of, but, you still got legitimate people that'll try to cross you. Back in the day when I was hustling, I would have never been buying stuff like this. Now I can buy it with business credit. You know, it's promotion. You know what I mean?
There you
it's
go.
business credit. So
there you go.
You know, it's insured. It's appraised. You know, I ain't gonna fight you for it. I'm gonna just put a police report in.
There you go. Make it simple. Make it simple.
You gotta play smarter now. You know.
Yes, sir.
Once you survive some stuff, you don't go back to it. You know what I mean? You just use it to say, all right, I gotta, you know, do everything a lot better now. And you know, it's like, you know, I really try to just help people. You know, I'm in the real estate industry now.
Please talk about it.
You know, I'm looking to diversify my portfolio. Everything's a lot bigger down here in Texas. So
Come on, Texas, where's that?
Yeah, I'm looking to buy some commercial units down here, man, and you know, just keep Moody's movement growing.
Come on, man. Yeah.